Nikki's tweet did fuel many in the anti-vaccine world, though, like the many in New York City who attended a massive anti-vaccine protest this week, where video of Speaker Bigtree has gone viral. He's the CEO of an anti-vax group based here in Austin, Texas, who questions the need to get vaccinated if you've already had the virus and are naturally immune. But during his speech, he said this.
I'm desperately trying to get infected with COVID-19, if I was going to be totally honest. I've hugged about half of you today, and I hope somebody has it so I can get this thing out of the way. For all of you that are healthy, not suffering from diabetes and obesity and cancer and other comorbidities that are under the age of about 75, let me be perfectly clear. You need to go out and catch this cold.
It led many to make the case that it should be criminal to intentionally catch a deadly contagious disease, since there are people who medically will never be able to get a vaccine and are thus always going to be unprotected. So we took the discussion to our legal analyst, Charles Adams.
There's not really any law that is prohibitive of someone intentionally catching a virus. The question is whether or not by catching the virus, you're engaging in a conspiracy to spread the virus as a biological agent, which could implicate some federal terrorism charges. And the argument a prosecutor could make is by knowingly encouraging others to be infected and seeking to get yourself infected, knowing that because you are behaving in a manner that will lead to the grave risk of infections for others, that you are recklessly endangering people's lives or all around you. Now, that's a stretch. I do think, in some states they could make that charge stick, and in some they couldn't. The affirmative steps that you took to infect other people, well, that would clearly be a crime almost everywhere in the United States.
And we have a lot of Americans who cannot get the vaccine for medical reasons. So if someone like that gets COVID and finds out that a coworker of theirs knowingly went out and caught the virus, like some of these people appear interested in doing at some of these rallies, is there any legal ground they have?
Well, I think clearly you could make an argument in civil court that if someone knowingly intentionally contracted the virus and then intentionally exposed you to the virus, that they might have some civil liability. Again, that would be also the possibility of criminal liability, but it would come down to being able to establish the intent. But I think if some prosecutor was wanting to charge someone with a crime, that in many states you would look to a reckless endangerment clause. And in Texas, you have something called deadly conduct, which typically refers to when someone is brandishing a weapon, but not to the degree of an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. But it also, an element of that crime is recklessly exposing someone to a substantial risk of serious bodily injury.
Are there any past cases where we've seen someone held responsible for having knowingly transmitted a disease like AIDS?
Right. You had a lot. In fact, at the height of the AIDS epidemic, you had a great number of states pass legislation that made it illegal. Now, many of those statutes were HIV or AIDS specific. However, some states were not. And that behavior is absolutely reprehensible.
Concern for those who medically cannot get vaccinated is a large reason why those who have been vaccinated are still encouraged to mask up around strangers to reduce the chance that you asymptomatically pass the virus to those who still may be vulnerable.